this situation here, what we have is a very large sycamore tree. From the other side of the creek, it's at least 4, maybe 5 feet in diameter at the base. The tree is entirely hollow. What we've got is it failed and fell down, and now it's resting on this limb right here. We know there was a failure because the upper portion of that oak tree over there snapped, and that's what this was resting on before. The tree came down, according to the homeowner, a good 10 feet and stopped right here on this limb right there. So one of the most important things I need to do for this job is to first inspect the amount of strain on that limb. So I'm going to use a 3-legged ladder and see if there's any airspace, or just give a little push on it to see what kind of pressure is on that spot. I believe there's a heck of a lot of pressure. I won't be putting any weight on the tree by going up the ladder. You got me? Jump in the river. Yeah. Well, and there it is. It is pressuring on this limb pretty solidly. It appears to have bent it over. The entirety of the weight of that big tree, which goes all the way down the creek there, is now currently resting on this one point. That's not the easiest thing to get up to either. Looks like there's a weakness in the live oak. You can see Jorge's already got a rope all the way up there. So we're probably going to have to tie those two limbs together to make it safe enough for him to go out and be tied in way out here on the end. A bit like being on a fishing pole. So we're going to do lots and lots of little cuts and keep making it a little bit safer, a little bit lighter as we go. But we've got an awful lot of weight on this limb here, and I want to get rid of all of that before we decide on what to do about this. I may decide to build a big prop way down there to kind of help stabilize this in that what if scenario. And I do know that there's an active beehive somewhere between here and that main Y. It's just early enough in the morning, they're cold and they are not moving yet. Now sometimes you get into these jobs that you just ask yourself, what the hell are we doing up here? Well, as long as we can figure out how to do this reasonably safe. There's no absolutes in tree work, but if you can make things reasonably safe and give yourself an escape route, then you can do some pretty incredible things. And I've got the world of respect for Jorge up there right now, because he's definitely putting his life on the line. He's working his way up. This is one of those jobs that you really don't want to get yourself into. But we're here. We've got the situation. We've got to make it as safe as we possibly can. This tree behind me, it's fallen down. All of the weight is resting on a relatively small oak limb, and it's definitely a ticking time bomb. The gentleman implied that the tree moved more than 10 feet, and it broke a fairly large oak limb on the way down and rested upon the branch that I showed you earlier. It appears to me that everything on the ground here is somewhat sketchy. So every step of the way we've got a lot to worry about. I don't know if you can see that, but Jorge is way the heck up there. And he's actually upside down on that limb, trying to get himself into a position that he can lower himself down and actually work. He doesn't need to go to the climbing gym. He gets enough work.
Oh, yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is go work out. One very important aspect here is that Jorge is never attached to the tree in question that's possibly going to fall down. See, what he just did right there is wrong. He just tied into the sycamore tree to support himself. And if it were to fail right now, it would drag him right down on the ground. All right, he reached the point where it's actually lifted up off of that that branch right there. So we're all feeling a whole lot safer right now, but not completely safe by any means. Good job, Jorge. How do you feel?
I feel a lot better because
I do that.
just like in the movies.
Well, thankfully, the weight of all that leverage on the end of this has reduced the strain on this tree. It's actually lifted off of it. It's about 12 inches from the point of contact. And the tree is supporting itself. I didn't believe it, but we got lucky this time. Yeah, we've taken off about 2,000 pounds of weight, and it was that leverage that was able to pretty much save the tree. So I thought for sure we were going to have to take this tree down or it was going to fall.
That way, you got a bee's nest over here. You know, I've been kind of looking. I think if there was a bunch of bees in there, they'd be angry right now.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's enough. They'd be swarming one.
It'd be like this. There's a whole different perspective to things.
Yeah, yeah.